So we're pushing slowly but surely forward. We can continue to take well, we can take the air place there and that last village to the slight south east of it. I think that'll be it for this, even though I know there's more guys up there. They're not producing them quite efficiently enough to counteract me, so eventually we'll be done. The dual flag thing is kind of weird to me, because I understand that right now we're in a situation where the undead are being controlled by I mean, they're technically Felhelm troops, so they would fall under the blue category, but because they're not currently being controlled by any commander, including the one that's on this stage, they don't get to rep the blue color, but we're gonna have both blue and this purple banner. Yeah, whatever. Sometimes think about balance in these types of games, particularly when we're talking about like Advance Wars or even a Fire Emblem to a degree. Certain characters have they're just movement alone is enough to give a particular character in Fire Emblem a bigger advantage over a character that can't move. Approaching enemy base. Heaven speed, soldier, or heavens. Almost there, guys. Ragna. Oh yeah, I forgot about Ragna. I guess she would also be female, wouldn't she? I mean, obviously, but can't assume anything in this day and age. Eventually these guys are gonna start moving south on me, and we'll have to take them out, but I've got a whole fucking army that I've been recruiting up to this point, so the likelihood of them stopping me seems very low. Particularly if I eliminate mainly that the only thing that I'm really concerned about is the flyers, and there's not really anything that I'm too concerned about with them, because they're only able to make one flying unit per turn, provided they have the economy for it. Okay. And second of all, one out there, an army, now of all times.
Sick 'em!
Hopefully I can hold them off until the Maroon Ragna gets back.
Welcome to the darkness. Battle stance activate!
I've got a golem coming down I'm gonna have to deal with, but I'm not sure that's gonna be much of a problem. I mean, it will be a problem because it will require multiple characters to kill it, but it won't be as big of an issue because I have so many characters right now that can attack it either from range or from the sky. So but I was talking about balance. you know, just simple movement. Like, for instance, when you talk to people who really love playing Fire Emblem games, they'll talk about how any character that's on horseback is way better than any character that's not on horseback. Which I get. Allows you to keep them in the fight, allows you to, you know, sort of extend to the point where you're hopefully taking advantage of a enemy's weak point. Obviously they can move to the goal faster than your foot-based units can get there. And they don't tend to have too many downsides. There's usually, well, I'm thinking Fire Emblem 7 right now, but there's usually a weapon that'll counteract horse units. So any unit, whether it be a troubadour or a cavalier or a paladin, can be countered by those types of weapons. But it's just a matter of looking for those weapons to see who has them and then just avoid them. Same with flyers. You just want to avoid anyone who has a bow and just stay out of their range, or get close enough that you're outside of their attack range but they're inside your attack range, and then just go for the kill. Being able to fly over things, move farther, way better than foot soldiers. Being able to counterattack both directly to and one space away from them, so mages have a great advantage because they can attack from 1 and 2 spaces away, versus archers which are sort of bottom tier because they could only attack from 2 spaces away. So they're sort of situational. So when I talk about balance, I always think about, well, how can you either improve your foot soldiers to give them a buff that makes them strong enough that you have to think about, well, do I really want this type of character could move really far but might be spongy, or spongy's not the right word, fragile, or do I want to, like, for instance, mages are very fragile to physical attacks, okay? So that's sort of their downside, is they can attack from 1 and 2, but they tend to have low defense and low health. So, you know, and their spells tend to be expensive comparing to regular soldiers with regular weapons. But as of right now, the meta says, well, axes suck, foot soldiers suck, archers suck, cavaliers, flying units, they're the ones you want to go with because they move fast, they're strong, there's not really any big downside other than you have to watch out for horse slayers. And typically they wield either swords or lances, which are in terms of physical abilities, are the best ones, quote unquote.
Hang on.
Watch out for Vesper's Shadow Sisters, they deal nasty damage. They're a little fragile though, one hit from anything will take them out. So yeah, basically anything you attack it with, whether it be a character at 1 health or a...
Vesper!
Vesper!
Damn
You.
right it's us! Come on!
Come over here, why don't you? Wanna wee chat? Oh, you old enough to talk now? Heavens, help us all. So anyways, Vesper's Shadow Clones, you can hit them with anything at any level, at, you know, 1 health, soldier all the way up to a fully powered golem, or, you know, main character. It doesn't matter, it'll automatically kill them. because they're shadows. They're not supposed to, but I believe these shadows come down and they act like sort of like moving bombs. So once they get to you, you're like fucked. I'm not 100% sure. I now didn't play the DLC for Wargroove 1. I'm not as familiar with this character. Or anything related to the pirates. I believe the pirate faction is sort of where the twins come from. Even though they're in Cherry Stone now, is sort of like a fourth officer, leader. Which is weird because Felhelm, they killed off the vampire lady, but they added her. So you still have 3 there. No one in Heaven's Song, at least up as far as I'm aware, died. So they still have 3. As of this recording right now, both Greenfinger and Sledge are dead. They only have 1 commanding officer right now, really, that I'm aware of, anyways. It's currently active. I know there's that other one that sits on horseback, but he's sort of like a mini commander. He's not really like full-fledged where he has a Wargroove, etc. I hate when I do that. I accidentally placed one of the 2 characters down. I wanted to go backwards and put the foot soldier to the north of the balloon, and then pop the healer, whatever, bear unit to underneath the village. So he'd be safe from attack, or at least a turn. What else? And then I don't know anything, like I said, I don't know anything about the pirates. And then of course the little mice people, I think they're new for this particular Wargroove 2. But I think the pirates would have, what, 3 then? You count the twins. Instead of Cherry Stone, you count them in the pirates organization. That would be the 3rd commander, along with their dad, which is the pirate that wields the treasure hammer, if you will. Basically a treasure chest on the end of a pole that he uses like a hammer. And she was originally part of that group, but she left because she got jelly of the father characters falling in love with a different woman. So now she's just sort of on a self-destructive path to get revenge or whatever. Power. I wasn't even paying attention, and it looks like the golem's already almost dead. Aren't I cool? Clang, 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 clang. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Man, I missed that time. I guess it still exists in an old capacity that I'm just not aware of. Used to listen to back in the 90s a lot of like I don't even know what you would call that, because every music style has its like subgenres. So like if you were to say, oh, it's rock, no, it's not rock, that's alternative. Well, it's alternative, no, that's some sort of subgroup of alternative, you know. I don't know. Win in 10 or few turns. Darn. I'm already 2 turns over that, and I've got another probably 4 to 6 to go. Provided, you know, the boss doesn't just fucking decide to plop her ass right down the middle of my army. I mean, she could move south, but then that would still result in probably 2 turns to kill her. She didn't move. I want to say only a little bit more to go because I can literally count the number of units just in this picture right here. But I know this isn't going to go quite as I expected. Why do I say that? Because I feel like the boss should have already come down to me, or should be sitting on some sort of throne. Yeah, it keeps getting worse. What are you brats even doing here? Don't you urchins have school or something? Nap time, part-time jobs at a factory? Ouch. That's a child labor joke.
Smoke and shadows.
Maybe that's her design, though. She just I mean, that's her character's MO is to stand in the back rank and produce these smoke sisters that she just then sends down to wreck your army. I don't know. They're very weak, though. They're kind of like, what is it? He's literally Koji. He's literally right on the thing. I'm not looking at the screen. Koji's little bombs that he produces. You know, if you can produce the bombs, but if they get hit by anything, they'll explode. So, only difference is they do explode. Or do they not explode if you kill them? I think they might not explode if you kill them. I was gonna say, even if you were to attack them, it'd probably explode. But that's probably wrong as well. $999% damage. That is 100 based on the way video games are written, obviously. That is a 1,000% chance that that'll always work. So even if your character's at 1 health and is super like debuffed to the you know the bare minimum, you're still gonna do it 100% damage to knock out that character. So the only question I have is, if I push characters in towards the keep, is she going to retreat or is she going to engage me? Because if she engages me, I might be in trouble, particularly with Koji. However, if she runs away, then I don't have anything to worry about. So let's see what happens. As I say, there's many different ways to do something. Whether that be turning left or right at a traffic light, or going straight, or advancing or retreating in a game like this. Are those Mark 3s? You remember, it finally worked those production kinks out. These things are unstoppable. They are stoppable. They're like tanks, you know what I mean? In a time period where you don't really have a dedicated anti-tank missile. Can you defeat it? Yes. How do you do that? You do it by throwing dynamite at it, or throwing grenades at it, or maybe you have some sort of armor-piercing bullets you know, take out the drivers inside. You know. Hi.
Orla. Ready. Yeah.
So if she's smart, she's gonna evacuate. And if the game's really smart, she's gonna evacuate in the opposite direction that I'm standing.
Let's go, Tenko.
Which means I should probably surround her with my, oh wait. This is the game where flying units can't go indoors. Right? I think that's true. You see how the outside is like a lighter color and the inside's like a darker tone, indicating it's like indoors and there's like not enough outdoor lighting coming in? I think they don't allow flying units inside a building. Which I get, but there's a difference between a balloon, a dragon, and a harpy / Tenko. You know? The harpies feel like they should be able to come in because they're just flying humanish things. And the, you know, your whatever should obviously not come in. Dragons should probably not be allowed in. Alright. Well, there's another idea. Could you imagine if instead of a unit taking up a singular square, they take up multiple squares? Like, you know, I'm not talking necessarily like the difference between like a regular tank and a medium tank, but like, say the difference between like a super tank and, you know, taking up say 4 spaces versus a regular taking up 1. Or having like a long range artillery taking up 2 spaces, you know? It is curious. So many possibilities, so many choices, so little time. I mean, could you imagine, like, you're writing up a design document for like the next Advance Wars game and you start bringing all these ideas to them. They start writing them down, and like the first thing they got to do is they got to figure out whether or not they want to deal with the not the repercussions, but like, do we really want to create a unit that takes up more than 1 space? You know, or conversely, if you really want to get down to sort of an interesting one, should it be squares or hexagons?
Hag.
Oh, she's trying to escape. Oh no, you hag. You can do, what is it? You can do hexagons, I think. You can do hexagons, or whatever they're called. 6 sides would make sense.
Let's hope this works.
5 sides, I think, would make sense.
Yeah.
I think that would fit. Should fit. No, it doesn't. Does it? I think it could work. I just think it has to do, I think it's more difficult because if you're trying to go north to south, you have to go you'd have to go left then right. You know. So instead of going from the bottom of the screen to the top, it'd always have to be from left to right or right to left. Because going north and south on a hexagon would be harder to do than on a 6-sided version. Pan. Wait, can't we talk about this? No, we can't talk about this. You need to die. Your choices are you can die by the hands of the twins, which I prefer because I get a star for that, or you can run into one of the bombs. Alright, well that is the end of this. Attack! Hooray! Everyone after her! What do you brats want? Look over the fell gauntlet. I think I stole it. Okay, yes, reasonable assumption. It wasn't me this time. I haven't stolen anything since I was banished from that miserable Vesper. Lord Valder. I mean, how wonderful to see you again, here in your own home.
Ragnar.
Where is Ragnar? If I knew that, you'd think I'd still be here? Vesper, was it? You're still here.
What?
Of course. I've been looking for you everywhere. Well then, if you wish to accompany this vessel, we departed once. I have found the answers I seek. Friends of yours. Ragnar. Oh, it's you. Yes, I'm very familiar with you. Suppose I must thank you for this vessel. It doesn't fall apart like the other undead. Yet unlike the living, this one obeys. You've done me an incredible service, however, unintended. Ragnar. Here I thought you were smarter than the other fell lords. You truly not recognize my voice. Doesn't matter, stand in my way and I shall cut you down. Elder,
Ragnar!
the voice of the gauntlet, you must shut it out. Come, Vesper, we leave anon. If indeed we shall, if be we. You have to go after him. Friends, Josh. Another word from you unless it is how can I help you or yes can do. You hear me, Shoza? Prince Koji, sir. Just saw a balloon take off from the fortress tower. We're headed south.
You will not escape.
You must take me to that. You must take them down. I cannot allow the fallow to persist. We can do it. My airship's more than fast enough. Powder, can you show me to your map room?
Yes.
Absolutely, this way. I just also noticed that the lieutenant's name with the spear is called Katsuragi. I.e., that's a Ava reference if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't Koji so cool right now? He was showing that cow bag, who's boss, and the way he's like just leapt into action like that. So amazing, and he's so smart. I suppose.
What?
What, you suppose?
Brilliant.
He's brilliant. I mean, you're pretty smart too.
Koji.
And he's always thinking of other people even when he's hurt. So thoughtful. But
Hang on.
wait. He's handsome too, right? Never really thought about it, but that is true.
You've
Oh
got
man,
a
Arrow.
crush.
You got a crush?
What?
What? What is this? What is a crush?
Don't you like it?
Oh, no, I don't like it. You have to tell him.
No.
No, the bad idea that I vomit, I really would.
All right.
Don't worry, Arrow. Dear sister's following you. Come to save the day. Rescue missions just become a love quest. Yay, gay shit. Already got a regular quest. This is the worst. Got a little bit of gayness in there. Spice up your stew with a little bit of gayness. Oh, homosexuality. So the gauntlet flies south for the winter, eh? And so shall I. This is a Saturday morning cartoon villain. You're unlocked additional lore about Valder. Awesome. Unlocked additional lore about Vesper. Awesome. Air battle. Next time.